Hi Ekta, good morning.
Hello, hi, good morning.
So first of all, this video's context is about the data science roles, so which are booming nowadays. So how we have cracked the data science jobs, or before cracking any job or applying to any job, what are the skills you developed, and how was your journey cracking the jobs and applying for the jobs and attending interviews? Because nowadays it is very tough, and but it will be helping you to crack a very high level packages. So can you brief your journey?
Yeah, sure. I started out in the IT industry as a software developer, and I worked for 2 years where I tried to figure out whether this is the role for me ahead or should I really make a switch to data science or any other domain for that matter. So it was 2018, I believe, when I really wanted to, explore more on my skill sets and see what I can really achieve with my capability and skills. So I was really looking for a course which would, get me to another domain or get me to exploring the best that I have within me as a capability. So at that time, I really came across this course which was talking about a master's in data science. And that's how it really struck me that, okay, even though I am in computer science, this will be a much more detailed approach or a much more deeper dive into the technologies and the field itself, right? So I didn't know a lot about it. So when I got into the course, I just knew barely just the buzzwords and very, very basic terms at that time because during that phase, like before COVID, that is between 2018 to 2020, we didn't really know much about data science or people were not talking about it. People were not using it or people did not recognize its ability, its magic to do, wonders. So I pursued that course, and then I think in the COVID times is when we realized that what kind of a boom this is and what kind of joy this space can really bring, and the value that it can bring to different companies and different verticals and different spaces. So that's how I switched. Basically, I did an MTech in data science, and post which I was looking for a job, and after which I think it's just been a fulfilling journey where I think I've just gotten newer facets to explore every day and also solve real life problems because it's all about solving problems after the end of the day, right? Like at the end of the day. So that's exactly what it has all been about. Switched multiple jobs and now at a place where I think I'm trying to explore the best of my capabilities in data science.
That's fascinating. Ekta, like, what is the most fundamental things that a data scientist should have?
Right. I think this is a very commonly asked question. I come across this question almost, I think, on a daily basis where a lot of LinkedIn connections keep on asking me, what are the fundamental skill sets required? How can I really break into the space and so on? So there is a lot of myth around the fact that, data science does not require coding in general, but it does. So briefly telling you about the fundamental skills which are needed. Number one being programming or coding. So majorly being able to use Python. So as far as you're able to use Python from a basic or an intermediate standpoint to be able to, um, code for any kind of a problem that comes your way, you are good enough. Like you should have some intermediate level of understanding of Python. That is very, very important. And that is the number one skill set which is needed. Number two is being able to understand basic mathematics. So when we say mathematics, it's not like, a lot more in details, say derivatives or integration or scary things that people might have, really spoken about in the news or in the papers or in articles. It is a lot more till your 12th standard maths, what you might have learned about, like matrix algebra, probability basic statistics, central tendencies, and probability distributions, and so on. So those things are like good enough to be able to, get you to an understanding which is required for a data scientist. So mathematics is also secondly very, very important. Third skill that I would really put as a fundamental skill is being able to write database queries. So that is being able to leverage SQL to be able to fetch any kind of data that is there lying in any database. So SQL just helps us to, set the background, set the context in the best way possible to be able to write those queries. These are three primary skill sets, and then you have advanced skill sets that you need to be able to understand the basic concepts of machine learning and neural networks and so on. So I feel that the foundations, if I have to really talk about foundations of data science, I name them as Python, SQL, and statistics overall. And that's how you build your base, and on top of which you can, grow in further with the help of machine learning algorithms and neural networks and so on. So yeah, those are like good enough for your basic getting into the domain.
Yes. Ekta, like nowadays we see in the engineering colleges that they have started with CSE with the data science and CSE with machine learning, CSE with some IoT kind of branches. In the
Correct.
CSE itself, they have started the specializations. So
Right.
are you from the same departments like that?
Exactly. Yes. I do come from the same kind of background that you're talking about. I pursued my engineering in information technology, which is nothing but IT. And I started out as a software developer. So primarily into software development with C, C++, Java on a daily basis. And then I migrated to Python over the period of time. And those basic fundamentals that we've learned during our engineering days while pursuing IT and CSE are forming the base today for the data science role as well. So they help immensely. There is no doubt about that when these kind of courses are really coming into the market, they serve as the right kind of benchmark to be able to, utilize the skills in the best way possible. So yeah, um, it's the right combination which is needed today, where you have like a good enough understanding about the different topics which form the CSC space, because somewhere or the other, the underlying principles of software development are the same which are used in the data science life cycle. So they correlate and they are perfect for each other in terms of how you would really put up these courses and work ahead with it.
Like Ekta, nowadays, like they are also saying experienced professionals can only crack this data science job. And most probably, even software companies are preferring because it is a new technology. Where a freshers won't be preferred over the new technology. Some experienced professionals, at least we need an experience of 2 to 3 years. There is a rumor like that. So, is it true, or even a freshers can crack any jobs in the data science?
Okay, so this is also another common question that comes my way because I see that the world has completely changed where everybody wants to run behind data science, analytics, and AI right now. And they are seeing the value that people are able to get and the kind of high salaries which are being offered. That is the major, drive way as to why this is being spoken about in such a high numbers every day. So, what I believe is that yes, if you have some experience, say, as you mentioned, 2 to 3 years of experience, it puts you in a better place to be able to understand data and to be able to develop solutions from the beginning itself. I agree to that. That work experience adds on to a lot of basic fundamentals which are needed for your day-to-day corporate life workings. But that does not mean that freshers are not eligible or they are not the ones who should be getting into this space right away. Um, Freshers equally can be trained and can be molded in a way in which they can also leverage the usage of these skill sets and tools and technology to be able to deliver their best. But again, the process with freshers would be a little bit more slower in comparison to experienced professionals, which would be expected, right? Because they are the ones who've directly come out of college. They need to be more nurtured, they need to be given more attention. They need to be given a much more structured approach to be able to, go towards getting the goals delivered in the best way possible. So the time investment is a little bit more in freshers in comparison to laterals or working professionals who would have some experience. It's just that not all organizations are really wanting to do that. That is to be wanting to spend that time and efforts on recruiting freshers, making them job ready, and so on. So that's one of the more important criterias, which is causing like a difference between some companies wanting to hire freshers, whereas some companies not wanting to hire freshers in this space. So that is the major difference, and that is the observation as well in this space, that this is what is causing the issues right now. So, but that does not mean that freshers do not look out for data science or AI roles. They should keep looking out for those roles, and and enroll in those companies which provide you the support to be able to grow better.
Okay. Yeah, so both are equally challenging actually. So even to shift and even to a fresher to get the job in the data science, both can face the challenges, but the skills which makes the difference in both of them.
Right, absolutely right.
Ekta, like what kind of projects did you do like before shifting and because it was totally a different domain for you. So how did you and like what kind of projects that helped you to crack jobs?
Right. That is one of the most important things that people have to also focus on. So I would, like to highlight that also in detail. So since I was moving from like, pursuing a master's course and then going and looking out for jobs in the corporate world, I did have a lot of exposure to good faculties who were able to guide me to be able to create impactful projects. So, 2 to 3 of my projects, which I did during my course, were very, very helpful. One being I did an emotion detection system using convolutional neural networks at that time, which did not have a lot of implementation back in 2018. And that was a revolutionary step in that time because we did not have these many advancements in the models or vision models or any such LLMs at that time, which would give me such kind of outputs which we are able to produce right now. So that was one of the projects which I developed at that time. Secondly, I had explored reinforcement learning in 2019 when it was an explored field, but majorly in the space of research. Not a lot of students would really work on that and see its applications in diverse fields. So I had used reinforcement learning in portfolio prediction. So how do you do portfolio management in the best way possible with the help of reinforcement learning, which was very, very new then. So these were two very novel projects at that time, something that was very much of a, you can say, a shift in terms of the techniques that are being applied and so on at that time. So that is about the two projects which I had done, but that is not it. I was not just blessed with being able to do projects, but also two internships during my curriculum, uh, which really helped me in getting a good full-time job. So I attribute that to a lot of work that I got during my internships. And the work that we did in the internships did not even have implementations existing at that point of time. So that was more of like the game changing factor which got me a full time role um, easily in comparison to people these days who are struggling a lot in this space. So being able to do good, impactful projects which help solve a problem and something which has a good sense of usability is very, very important.
Yeah. So those emotional projects were really helpful to you.
Absolutely. I think emotion detection in its own self, like even today, we have face unlocking in our phones, right? Like your face recognition systems are there.
Yes,
Nothing,
yes.
nothing like that existed at that time. So even though it doesn't seem very long back, it's just almost 7 years back, but technology has advanced very fast. So the pace has been too quick, and we are seeing like really great technological advancements, which are resulting in models which are doing way better and helping us in a much more easier way today in comparison to that time.
Yeah. So really, for any role, the projects play the very key role to place you in a very good job. Uh, So actually, Ekta, like coming to the advancements in the technologies. Let's suppose you're taking any kind of technology. Let's say in front end we have some React JS or Angular JS or Vue JS. So startingly we were having a programming language of JavaScript, but later on, due to the advancements in the technologies, we were moving to the frameworks, like kind of things. Now it's
Correct.
kind of Next.js they are saying. So, like, how do you think this future of data science will be for the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what are the new trends we can expect in this role?
Yeah, that's a good analogy to really talk about how front end has really evolved over time. So every space has massively evolved, especially in the past 5 to 6 years. Like something from say 2019 to 2025 or 2018 to 2025. Considering that time frame, there has been a lot of advancement. Now, when we talk about data science AI also, 2018 is when the Transformers paper came in, Attention is All You Need, which really started this wave of being able to build systems, autonomous systems, which are able to replicate humans in some form or the other, right? So with Google's BERT transformers, the entire landscape changed. Till then, we were only able to leverage and use the traditional machine learning algorithms and deep learning models, like say basic deep learning models, like say ANNs, RNNs, LSTMs, CNNs. Pre-trained models was not a facet till the time BERT came in. Now, with respect to where we were at 2018, and then we went on with Hugging Face Transformers and the entire change in the landscape that is from GPT 1 to 3 to now Chat GPT 3.5, Turbo, this and that, and now n number of open source LLM models coming into play, and also how DeepSeek has really come in the recent times. We are seeing a rapid movement in terms of how these LLM models are being brought to the market, that is your go-to market, your GTM time has become very, very less. So all countries, all companies today who really want to get into the tech space and who want to make sure that they are at the forefront are really, pushing for better development of LLM models. And what will happen in the next 5 to 10 years? We already see a shift where today a lot of us are not coding on a day-to-day basis. Like development is not something that is happening by hands or by us ourselves because we have tools which help us to support that. Something like say ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Claude, DeepSeek. These are all tools which are helping us ease our day-to-day work in a much more faster way. Because many a times when you yourself would write code, you would take like 1 hour, 2 hours to write one script of say 100 lines, 200 lines for the logic. These tools help us write that in a few minutes. So the turnaround time is very, very less. So what is happening is till now we are able to write, segregated, scattered pieces of code, and we are able to do certain automation of tasks. Now, what will happen in the coming days or the coming years is already agentic AI has come into play. So with agentic AI, what is going to happen next is that the entire orchestration, the entire pipeline building, everything end to end will be something that the AI will be able to do. So there would be a lot, of course, right now also there is multimodal input that is something which you can feed into your models. So say you can feed in text, you can give text as an input, you can give image as an input, you can give audio, you can give video. Anything of that sort is something which you can give as an input. So multimodal input systems to being able to build complete end-to-end, systems is something that the AI will be able to do. And that is what is perceived in the next few years. Now, 5 to 10 years is a very big time frame today to even determine for a tech person. Like somebody who's into the tech space would be like, okay, we can't even think about what's gonna happen. Like for the next 2 years at least, we would know that what kind of research is going on and say Google DeepMind, or the largest research centers that we have across the world today. Now, OpenAI is also continuously evolving. So all of these advancements that are going on are going to be able to help our tasks to be done in a much more easier manner. So that's what will happen. Agentic AI will take over. It will build end-to-end systems. I think there'll be robots who will also be able to help us do that. But then, of course, the human intervention, the human in the loop will always stay because they would require validation. They would require some or the other kind of intervention because there are security concerns, governance concerns with AI also that we see that some models have bias and so on. So there are positives and negatives to both the cases as well. So yeah, uh, the future is going to be very revolutionary, but yeah, it'll be a good mix of the latest advancements possible.
So do you think the with this AI and data science, how will it affect jobs in various industries? Do you think it will be like minimize number of jobs, opportunities, and will it be replaced by people?
That's a very good question. I think this is something that is concerning everybody today, be it freshers, be it working professionals, be it people who are highly experienced, even 15 plus years of experience, 20 plus years of experience. People are like kind of, in the middle of all of these questions. Now, when we ourselves are into this space, we realize that we should be, not just thinking about what can happen with the AI space, right? In the sense that whether you can leverage the best of AI.
Ekta,
So yeah, this particular question, I think, yeah, requires a lot of insight from industry professionals who are actually seeing what is happening due to AI. Because there is a lot of misconception that is there today, right now, which says that okay, AI is going to replace jobs, or they're just seeing that ChatGPT is able to do so much stuff. So we don't have like as users or as entrants, new entrants into this space, we'll not have much to do, but that's not how it is. Someone who is using AI or who is able to use the latest AI tools in the best possible way will replace people who are not doing well. So it's not like AI is going to replace their jobs. But say you have a student A and if you have a student B. But student A is able to use ChatGPT and Copilot up to a certain extent, like a very basic understanding, okay, and is not able to get out the answers out of the tools in, like, say, even half an hour. But student B is able to do this in a very quick, say, 10 minutes. Okay. So what will happen over here? AI is not going to take over both of their jobs. Student B will be preferred in comparison to student A because he's able to utilize the tools to be able to get the job done. So most of the times the case is that we would want the problems to be solved. We're not just looking for you know the replacement of people via AI. That has not been the narrative at all that we are trying to build as well over here. Jobs are not going to decrease. There will always be something or the other to do. And moreover, who is going to be building these tools? They're going to be humans only, right? After all. So there are going to be jobs which are going to be increasing in this space as well, but there would be certain things which are very manual, where you don't require a lot of human intervention. Those kind of jobs might deplete or might get you might get laid off or something around that. But as far as you're able to adopt new technology, as far as you're free and really open to adapt to new changes, things will go in the best way possible. You might be doing something else as a job role, but there are going to be jobs which are going to be staying forever. So that's what is the myth and the misconception which we really need to clear in a lot of people's minds, which is totally, circling back everywhere in every social media platform also. The only thing that you hear is AI is going to replace the jobs. That's not going to be the case at all. So yeah, the understanding, a clear understanding is very, very important to be conveyed to everybody regarding this.
yes, Ekta, there is always a saying in IT, like whenever you learn and adapt to new technologies, then only your earnings will be increased.
That's totally true. Very true.
Yes. So, can you guide our students like what are the things that like exactly if there is any career gap or if they are wanting to build some career related to the data science. So, will this field be suitable to them even if they're having some career gap or they have already done their graduations in the let's say you have said now BTech with CSC specializations with the data science, or any other specializations, but they're still interested to move towards this data scientist roles. So, will career gap and even they're having this degree certifications, will it be helpful for them? Or do we need to choose some experience after that? Will it be helpful to them?
Okay, that's a fair enough question because I think a lot of people have career gaps and they're really, bothered about as to it that, okay, what is going to happen with me? How am I going to showcase this career gap in a corporate world and so on? That would be the case. But it does not mean that you will not get a job. So today, I think there are some barriers which have been broken. That is number one, looking for a particular degree, like looking for, say, master's or PhD for certain skill sets. That has been something which has been waived off, number one. Number two, if you see, we're not looking for a lot of certifications as well. Certifications had a certain value up to like a period of time, but now it's a lot about how you built up your skill sets and how you're able to utilize it. So as far as you're able to showcase that, okay, I know this and I can use this and I can turn this into revenue for you, or I can give some value to you, that is what is needed. So that's exactly what is the need of the hour today. That is building skills and trying to apply them in the best way possible to be able to, get a good job. So when you are really trying to like build up your resume, when you have a career gap or something, like say you have a career gap of 1 year as a student and you weren't able to get a job, or maybe you just took a break because of some XYZ reasons or whatever. How do you really portray this to the corporate world? You portray this in terms of the fact that you state the truth, of course, whatever has happened, but you also build up on your skill sets in such a way that you are a differentiator in that space. That is, nobody is going to stop you from doing the best work possible. As far as you have done great work, as far as you've tried to solve real problems through innovative solutions, that is the best thing to do. I mean, if that is not something that you've worked for, what else have you really been able to, do do justice to your profile? So if there is a career gap, I think there is no reason to be, hesitant about it or to be scared about it. It's all about how you can portray it in the corporate world in the best possible way, cover up for it by, of course, saying the truth, but of course, then also build up your skills in such a way that there is no question that comes on your career gap in that way. So, yes, I think focusing on your basic fundamentals is very, very important, something that students really lack today. As far as they are able to get their basic fundamentals on point, no career gap or anything is really going to stop them from getting a really good job.
Yes, that's true. Jobs are many, but the skillful people are less. So if you develop the skills, even career gap doesn't matter.
Absolutely
So
true.
yeah, thank you, Ekta. Like it was very insightful session for our students, and I hope they got some many more points to start their journey towards the data scientist roles. So which is boom and will crack their a very good package to them.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was like a great experience to talk about all of these things, which are a myth, which people do not have clarity on. And this is a great medium to really talk about the future of AI and talk about things from an industry perspective, which a lot of folks are not aware of. So, yeah, it does give people a lot of insight on the reality rather than just going by the gimmicky marketing stuff that happens on in the world today.
Thank you, Ekta. Have a good day.